Welcome back to Careful Boys, where we have 6 of the most careful gentlemen that you could ever wish for in your lives.
Right.
Yep.
There's 6 of us?
Hey, when Careful Boys merch, boys.
When Careful Boys merch, boys.
Do you guys have merch now? Do you guys have JK?
We have pole vaulting is not a crime. It's not a sport.
What's that?
Just the word "Careful Boys"
It'd be great.
Is a great it sells itself.
What about a little CB logo? A little CB.
Yeah,
You know?
I don't know, man. That's the acronym of a gang that I grew up
How
with.
about CBZ?
What's it stand for?
Cool Boys or Chinatown Boys.
Oh.
And I think they fight
Chinese
over the
boys.
names.
Cool Boys?
Yeah.
Cool Boys.
I think the Careful Boys will fuck up the Cool Boys.
No, don't say that. They're my friends. I don't want to fight with
Be
them.
careful, man.
We should definitely get that word. Hey, get that word to the streets from me, will you?
Hey, I want this.
Catholic boys.
Catholic boys.
Oh, I don't want to be a Catholic boy.
Yeah, Joe.
Do you want to be in a Catholic?
I think I'd rather be a Catholic boy than a cool boy.
There you go.
You know.
Nice.
So, Steve, you were telling us
Something happened.
something happened to you.
Yeah.
Tell us about a time.
Unleash yourself. And
All right,
just
People like it when you're serious.
Yeah, I guess so. So yeah, so recently I was just chilling at home, and get a phone call from my mother.
Hello?
And she's unusually sitting next to my father, and they're in the same room at the same time, and she's like, "Steve and I have something I have to tell you." And I was like, "Okay, well, all right." And she's like, "I have cancer."
Oh, shit.
And I was like, "Oh shit! Like this is."
That's fucking crazy.
Wow. Yeah. And she was bummed that she couldn't tell me in person because obviously I live in Vegas and stuff, and she already lives in like San Diego anyway, so it's rough. But this is like, I don't know, like 15 days ago or something.
Dude.
Yeah. So then I was like, boy, whoa, this is pretty crazy. And she was saying that it's still early, like the prognosis is solid, like she's looking at breast cancer, which is
Pretty common,
the
right?
common ones, yeah. Which is I mean, Nikki's aunts have had it, but when it happens to you, it's just a whole different jam.
Yeah.
How did she catch it? Was there like a lump or like was she
Yeah, there's a
sick,
lump,
or-
and my old man made her go.
So when he was sucking on her boob, he was like, "Honey, that's not normal."
That's exactly what happened.
Something's up.
So you need to go to the doctor.
Yeah,
That's why I'm constantly fondling boobs.
yeah, that's good.
Me too.
I have to make sure that there's no extra lump.
Very inconsiderate. Wait.
No, you said it right.
Yeah, there it is.
That very considered it.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's just one of those. It's just one of those things. I think she's gonna be fine. I think it'll be like. I think honestly, I think she's been in a place for a long time where she's been taking care of so many other people. I think it's time for her to take care of herself a lot more. So it's like one of those wake up call things.
So is she just gonna get like surgery to just cut out that area or whatever?
That's the plan, yeah. So she started doing radiation, and then they're gonna do they're gonna lance some of it to analyze it, and then they're gonna do like a surgical procedure to remove the whole jam.
It's crazy because like people live day to day like they're invincible, but mortality is so real. Like at any given time, like someone could just bounce.
And it's so sad, even though you know it's gonna happen. Like, why? Like, I'm telling my brain, like, people die all the fucking time, every single day. It's not special. It happens. Yeah. But why do I gotta get so fucking sad over it when I know that it's gonna happen?
Yeah, that's why I knew this would be the great room to talk about it in. I was like, hey, Steve, don't worry. People die every fucking day all the time. And I'm like, that's very true. Good point.
But does
that make you feel better, Steve?
don't you feel burdened by how much the fucking pain takes you out?
Oh, I'm worried for my mother because she's a worrier person, right? And she just doesn't want to worry us, and so it's mostly about that. Like,
She's probably holding
How's
it
your
for a while.
family taking it? Like your brothers or sisters?
yeah, it's just one of those things where I think we all feel the same way. Where life is a weird thing. Like, but our mother is the best of us. We all feel, and so it's one of those tough things where
So you don't rub it in their face, like your mom's face anymore, at least, about Luna, right?
I don't know. Well, I never had to rub in my mom's face about
she
Luna because she was always believed. Yeah, it was always
Clearly the best of y'all. Yeah.
yeah, my siblings. So they can all suck dicks and die in hell. But I'm kidding. No, everybody's we're all banding together about it. But it's also it looks very good. It's just one of those things where I hope that more people. I know I don't always do it. Like where you just take time out of your life to appreciate the ones you love and stuff. So yeah, not a bad time to do that.
That's pretty dope.
But your mom is in pretty good spirits about it as well.
Oh, I think so. Yeah.
Even though she's a warrior.
She's a tough chick, man. She's the toughest broad I ever known. So,
She probably worries more about everyone else, right?
She does. That's all she cared about was that she was only crying on the phone because she couldn't like hug me herself and stuff. Yeah, it's like all that kind of stuff.
Worry about how you feel.
Tell me, yeah, it's like one of those things where it's like, dude, I'm worried. I'm not worried about her at all.
Yeah.
But yeah.
How, is she old? How old is she?
She's old, dude.
She can't be that old.
She's not. She's like in 60s.
That's still young.
It's not that old, actually. Yeah.
My mom's a fucking dustbag compared to yours.
Well, how old's your mom?
He's like 50.
She had me at 38 or 39. So plus that by 30. Let me fucking math,
Like
bro.
76,
No,
The
77.
only one with a calculator right in front of
Joe
me.
doesn't know how old his mom is.
76.
That's why the calculator's always over there. Joe's always confused.
For this one moment.
Yeah. Anywhere from 74 to 76. Because then she
in
told me.
between 70 80, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's geriatric though. 74, 76.
But she's still like pretty sentient. Like she doesn't have like memory loss rapidly.
My stepdad has cancer. He doesn't act like it.
Really?
He has colon cancer.
How are you supposed to act like?
Like a fucking sad ass dude.
Okay.
But he has a baseball cap with a propeller at the top and he spins
He's
it.
like, hey man, I'm still cool, baby.
With a rainbow lollipop.
But do you guys ever think? Because I think for me, I've been recently thinking about like my parents' mortality a little bit more.
Yeah.
You have the youngest parents here.
My parents are probably around your guys' age.
Oh,
I mean, your parents. Your parents.
You have older
I was like, wow.
70
I was like, way to throw it away.
Thanks
I was
for
like,
doxing me,
fucking
dude.
dry Nick.
No, because you got older sisters, right?
Yeah, so like my sisters are probably closer to your guys' age.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, around there. And so my parents are probably your parents' age as well. So like 70s, like around there too. Or late 60s, early 70s. But like my dad had a stroke probably around like 2 years ago. And just seeing how that happened. And because he was just a normal like guy and he was very active. And then once he had the stroke, it did kind of change him a little bit as far as like he couldn't walk that well anymore. And then he moved to Taiwan.
You got more chill.
Yeah, you got way more chill. But you see that change, you think about that because you see your parents in the hospital bed and you really think about like, oh shit, my time with my parents and my family is very limited, is getting to that stage. And then you have to be more, at least for me, I've been more aware of how I try to spend time with my parents. But it is fucking really scary to think about.
I heard stroke is pretty common in like Asian males.
Oh yeah. That's like super common in Filipinos.
Yeah, heart problems, stroke,
Blood pressure, yeah.
blood pressure. That's another one.
Yeah, my dad already like has told me that he's convinced that the way he's gonna go is by heart attack because of like his dad and his grandpa and stuff.
All heart attacks?
Same with my grandparents.
Heart attacks?
All of them, yeah.
How-
Stroke.
But my grandpa like died in his sleep, but it was still like heart failure or whatever like that. So, but he's just the way he says it or the way that he told me, it seems so accepted. You know what I mean? Like there's this kind of air of nonchalance as if like the
it's
fate
for
has
sure.
been accepted. So it's just like cool, move on now that you kind of know.
Damn.
Does that give you any sort of like, in a weird way, but like, does it kind of make you feel a little more comfortable with it at least in your mind?
Honestly, I'm so fucking selfish that it makes me think like, oh shit, I think I'm gonna have a heart attack then, I guess, if that's how it works.
Because you think it's
yeah,
genetic.
you know what I mean? So I'm
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
oh, okay. But
Would you call yourself a stressor? Like, do you stress about like menial things, or like, or does it take something big to stress you out?
I would say it would take something big to stress me out, but it doesn't mean I can't have moments of sensitivity to things.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
Yeah, but is it sensitivity like stress, or is it like something else?
No, I don't think stress overly consumes me in a way that like I know that like it's impairing my health. No, not like that.
Yeah.
But who knows when you're like a father of like that age and like things are just, you know what I mean?
Hey, dude, my father-in-law's like that. Like, every little thing stresses him the fuck out, like to an unreasonable level.
Yeah.
And then
What's something small that he'd freak out over?
Oh, dude, I mean, just like Nikki growing up didn't clean her room one time and it like made his face red and he was like, you're grounded for a week, and like he's all fucking breathing heavy and shit. Yeah, so it's just, he'll just get like become a rage monster and stress about nothing out of nowhere, right? My dad is the same way, but my dad also has a heart condition too, so I guess but it's not as bad as his. Like my old man-in-law had to get like a little
Pacemaker?
Little pacemaker. Like,
Oh shit, my uncle has heart problems too. He just had surgery. Damn. So that's like a lot of maybe there's like something there with like males and heart problems and stress and blood pressure and
Heart disease is like one of the
angry,
most
maybe.
common. It's
It is the most common.
Yeah.
heart disease.
The United States.
Oh, yeah.
especially.
And it usually is in that like spectrum of like strokes.
And
heart
how
attack.
closely tethered it is to
pressure.
your stress level is key.
Today's video is brought to you by Bombas.
Bombas's mission is simple: to make the most comfortable clothes ever
Comfy.
and match every item sold with an equal item donated. So when you're buying Bombas, you're also giving it to someone in need, which is super cool.
Bombas designed their socks, shirt, and underwear to be the clothes you can't wait to put on every day.
Everything they make is soft, seamless, tactless, and has a luxuriously cozy feel.
They're made from super soft materials like merino wool, Pima cotton, and even cashmere,
Wow.
which makes them the perfect cozy layers.
There's a pair of Bomba socks for everything that you do. They come in tons of options, like comfy performance styles for every sport and activity that keeps you moving.
Bombas t-shirts, they're made with thoughtful design features, like invisible seams, soft fabrics, and the perfect weight so they just hang right.
Bombas underwear has a barely there feel, with second skin support that might make you forget they're even there, in a good way. And did you know that socks, underwear, and t-shirts are the 3 most requested items at a homeless shelter? And that's why Bombas donates one for every item that you buy. Go to bombas.com/offtherecord and get 20% off your first purchase. That's bombas.com/offtherecord for 20% off. bombas.com/offtherecord.
And do you think it's psychological more than dietary?
I could tell you right now, it's like, because my family has the same thing. All 4 of my grandparents, heart attacks and strokes.
Oh,
My
women too?
Yeah,
Men?
men and women. My dad and mom both have heart issues, and when I was 17, me and my mom were having like a full-on argument, yelling at each other, and she had a heart attack in the middle of our argument.
Oh my god.
Damn.
So like ever since then.
Why you always gotta top it? Bro,
Out of nowhere, nonchalant.
But that's how I realized like it's also your responsibility to like, yeah, your parents got to eat right, whatever, but you also have to not stress them out.
How did that go down? So in the middle of arguing, and then she was just like clutching her chest?
It's exactly what you would imagine. Like we were fighting about, and it was my fault. Like I was a shitty ass teenager, and we were just yelling, and then all of a sudden she just was like, ah, and just like dropped like in the middle of us shouting.
so what did you do? Call the police?
I called the police, or they sent the ambulance, and I was just holding her, and I was like, damn, if this is gonna be my fault, I'll never be able.
Do you ever get like the thought like,
Another
man, arguments don't fucking matter? Like,
That's from then on I was like, nothing is that fucking big of a deal, man. Like
Yeah.
nothing, especially this, like whatever this is.
Ryan is the DJ Khaled of fucking crazy stories. Man.
Another.
and he just pulls them out at random too.
But then like, that's also something my parents also remind me is in me too. So they're like, yeah, don't ever forget, like at some point you might hit an age where your cholesterol will start going up and your blood pressure, it's gonna be a challenge to maintain. I still can't imagine that happening to me because I've never had problems, but it's one of those things where you have to be mindful of that too, like how you live your life. It's not like one day the doctor tells you, hey, you got to watch your blood pressure. You can't get rid of those habits of being angry on the spot. Yeah. Like it takes years and years of disciplining yourself, how you live, how you react to things.
Oh yeah.
So that's from that happening at 17, I was like fucking, I tried to Bob Marley my whole fucking life. It's just like, hey, everything's gonna be okay.
You've been working on it since 17?
Yeah, because 17 I was a fucking hothead.
chill you are though. Like I can tell you've been through a lot.
For
though,
real, bro.
You know?
It makes so much more sense.
Because usually people that are like, I'm like, man, you haven't really been through that much. But if you go through a lot of shit, like you're just like, oh, this guy's been through a lot, because they're not easily stimulated.
Well, yeah, it's very like rare that something seems like it should cost that much.
Yeah.
After you've seen your mom get a heart attack in the middle of you yelling about something that means nothing at all, like could have easily not even fought about this thing.
My dad hasn't had anything yet, but like some of the signs of like him aging was like my dad's like moving some of his stuff into our house, so he could sell his house to move to Vegas, and he was like, can you move this downstairs for me, because I can't pick it up. And I went to go touch it, and I'm like, oh shit, that's crazy. Like this is something that I felt like
He's got weak.
like a 50-year-old man, 60-year-old man should easily move, but he's not 50 or 60, he's 70 now. And I'm like, wow, this is crazy. Like this is, I can clearly see he's not like the dad in my mind of who he is.
He's weathering apart.
And at the same time, you're kind of like, man, I've been lifting a lot.
You're like, I'm pretty strong.
Is it also that change?
I gotta admit, my program is really good.
He got stronger, is what it is.
No.
My dad's a pussy. You can't lift this up.
No, because he had a big tub of stuff, and he got the tub from the garage. But once he filled it up, he was like he couldn't move it anymore. And I'm like, whoa, that's crazy, man.
Or he couldn't move it. He was like, fuck it, hey Bart.
Yeah, it was like it was fucking like Kung Fu Hustler. He fucking kicked it into place. Oh, I can't move.
Bart. Man, thank you for sharing that, man. That's crazy, you know.
I've been meaning to talk to you guys about it. I just never. It was like we were having such a fun time yesterday and the day before.
You didn't want to ruin the mood.
Yeah. But we're at the end of the shoot now, so it's yeah.
How's your dad taking it?
He's really well, but
Because I feel like the spouse takes it the hardest because like that's their person.
Yeah.
It's almost like you dying.
I called him and I asked him that. I was like, hey, look, I know everyone's making a big deal about Ma right now, but like I just want to see how you're doing and shit. And he got choked up about that because like guys, nobody as a guy, we very seldom ask each other how we're doing and shit. And so he was definitely. It's definitely one of those things. It's a good thing to ask, right? Like hey, how are you too? Like everyone's gonna focus on the one person. Right. We've been calling her nonstop, sending love to her nonstop. But like, hey, how's he doing? And he doesn't like just tell me exactly what up. But hearing him get choked up was enough. And then, him just changing the subject into how's Nikki's parents was pretty good. And that's kind of how he deals with it.
That's that shit, isn't it?
Sounds like
That's
this guy
shit.
just fucking deflects.
How's Nikki's father? Oh, he's great, Daddy. He's had the pacemaker for 5 years. He's been fine. I tell you that every time we're on the phone. But he doesn't want to talk about it.
Yeah. He wants to ask some other questions.
We all got to deflect though. If you can't, because I get it too because he's talking to his son and I'm his oldest son. He doesn't want to like
scare you.
Yeah, I think so.
Oh,
I think so. So I get the psychology of it, but I'm also like, hey, it's okay, old man. Like life's too short. Like.
Man, I can't wait to have kids so I can fucking pour all my issues onto them. Life is so hard. I can't wait you to get older so you can rescue me.
I just feel very fortunate because some people get the call and it's very, very bad news.
Yeah.
It's already like too late, and it's like it's happening.
Yeah. I feel very, very lucky. I'm very grateful. If anything, it feels like life gave me a little wake up call about the finality of like your closest ones. And even though I do a lot of jokes about how I don't want to talk to my mom on the phone and stuff, I talk to her like more than anybody. So it's just one of those things where the idea of losing like your best friend in a way is it's just you gotta be more thankful.
When Gio's dad passed, it was sudden like that. This is when me and Gio were living in our downtown place in LA, and it was like 5 a.m. in the morning. She gets a phone call. She never really wakes up. I don't know, for some reason her cell phone was on, so it rang. She picked up. The older sister was like, Dad had a heart attack, and you could just hear her crying over the phone. And then I was like, what the fuck? And then she's like, I gotta go. And then I'm gonna go with you. She goes, no, I gotta go. I'm like, okay, this is like your dad. I don't wanna I think she just needs space or like need to sort some shit out or whatever. And then it was just crazy that it was just in an instance where it was the week before we're just having dinner and you just like I was saying how you just think everyone's just gonna live forever, right? That's how you live day to day. And it was just bam, he was just gone. Like just doing one of his normal gigs because he's a carpenter. He's just building a house, and then in a car ride, he had a heart attack, and then next thing you know, he's already in an ambulance.
Fuck, it's crazy.
Yeah, and it's not like it's not like he's super old or anything. It's just like we're just like, wow, it's fucking crazy, man.
I think I saw him just a couple weeks before that because he was helping me build something, and then afterwards I was at the funeral and I'm like, you were just like alive. This is how quick it happens.
Did he have any history of heart stuff, or this was just out of nowhere?
Not that I know of. I mean, they're not like the healthiest of people, I feel like that generation, people just don't really focus on the health, or they don't go on the daily walks or whatever, So it's not. I don't think they were the healthiest.
But for old dude, he worked like like physical jobs, you know. So
There weren't any signs or anything like that, and then it was just, bam.
Also, men are really like terrible at letting people in on signs.
Oh yeah.
They'll just bury that shit and just never get the help they were supposed to get.
But do you think it's also like they're unaware or like?
No, dude.
They say like guys. One of the number one ways for guys to die is when they choke on something, and because they don't want to burden other people. They're like,
That's one of the leading.
versus chicks would be like, oh fuck, like someone help me. But I think dudes are like, I got it, and then they just.
You sure? Can I help? No,
And they're like, no, get off me, fucking, you know, the F word, and then they just go die off the side.
Sorry, all right, fuck me then.
like a year.
So dumb.
People will die to not look gay.
Guys are so stupid.
No, you
like
can't
that.
get behind me, dude.
Guys are so stupid.
Like a year ago, I was helping Nikki clear out some patio furniture, and it was like no big deal. And she had turned like a bunch of patio furniture upside down, and all of it was the same weight. So I was just picking it up, taking it outside, taking it to the curb. Well, in one of them, she stacked a bunch of these wet pillows because it had just rained. And so it's just a fuck ton of wet pillows in them, but I didn't even look at it. I was just picking them all up like same. And then I go to pick up one, and all of a sudden my back just goes. It was like my back just like Lethal Weapon rock and roll guitar stings like like, and I was like, oh my fucking god, right? And I dropped it, and then like just like for some reason I couldn't tell her about it for like 2 months.
Really?
But like, yeah,
Oh,
it's just
man.
I just don't want to bleed on her, man.
What kind of? Was that what it was? Like you felt like you would burden her?
Yeah, it was. Well, I just didn't want to be a pussy. You know what I mean?
How did you hide that? How did you hide those symptoms around her for 2 months? Did you have anything like any injuries after?
I came with bullshit excuses as to why I couldn't do regular things. Like just,
what?
I don't feel like it. Nah, I got like a little headache tonight, whatever. It's funny how I'll say I have a little headache, but I won't just admit I have a fucking actual back thing.
You're like laying like this. Yeah. I can't move.
She's like, you want to come watch TV? And I'm like, I can't. I got a little headache. It's like the light will probably fucking. She's like, you're on the computer. I'm like, it doesn't have to make sense. Okay, get the fuck out of here. And I'm in
Does that make sense?
I'm in here
Okay,
with
officer.
a heat pad that I ordered from Amazon. I opened it privately and like heated it up in the microwave, and I'm putting it on my back, and I'm just like trying to do all kinds of different shit. Yeah, it's the stupidest thing, dude.
2 months?
Wasting
Yeah, it's like
hell
2
food
months, yeah.
items and shit.
You got that fucking inversion table where you're fucking like hanging.
He's hanging upside down with the gravity boots.
It's to make me better at fucking.
Yeah.
This helps me with crypto.
You're fucking
okay?
busy.
Leave me alone.
Crypto, okay?
I get big staking rewards from this thing.
It's a
I
minor.
get 9% APY on this
It's
thing.
a minor. We're gonna be rich.
You Bobcat, shut up. Leave me alone.
Anyway, tell people that you love them. It's always a good thing.